Hi, I'm Haley and welcome back to my channel. I'm super excited because today I'm talking all about perfumes that I think are perfect for Christmas. I have 5 fragrances here that I think are just the most Christmassy, most delicious fragrances in my collection for this time of year. So if you want to hear my thoughts about 5 different super festive, wonderfully Christmassy fragrances, keep on watching. So the first fragrance is one that a stranger actually stopped me about and told me I smelled like Christmas at a completely different time of the year, and that is Bdk Gris Charnel. This is just so wonderful. I talk about this a ton on my channel just because I love it so much, and I think it's perfect for the Christmas season. So this fragrance has top notes of cardamom, fig, and black tea, mid notes of iris, bourbon vetiver, and base notes of sandalwood and tonka bean. So I think this fragrance is interesting because to me it's kind of a chameleon. So in the warmer months, I feel like that fig note really comes through and becomes a little bit of a jammy fig, but in the cooler months I really get that dry sandalwood and cardamom. So I think this is ultra delicious and perfect for Christmas because it's a bit spicy in just a wonderfully festive way. That cardamom really comes through, and combined with that dry sandalwood in the base just feels like a crackling fire combined with delicious Christmas spices, like the eggnog spices without the lactonic nature of eggnog itself. So if you really like that deliciously spicy Christmas vibe, I would definitely give this one a go. I think it's super beautiful. I also love the juice. I think it's perfectly wintry. I just think the color of this is just like a beautiful ode to the long winter nights and all of that, and I just think it's so delicious and perfect for the Christmas season. Next up, I have another wonderfully dark and wintry fragrance, and that is Tom Ford's Black Orchid. Now, this is one of those fragrances that has a whole host of fragrance notes, so I'm going to do my best to get through them all, but it has top notes of truffle, gardenia, blackcurrant, ylang-ylang, jasmine, bergamot, mandarin orange, amalfi lemon, middle notes of orchid, spices, gardenia, fruity notes, ylang-ylang again, jasmine again, and lotus, and base notes of Mexican chocolate, patchouli, vanilla, incense, amber, sandalwood, vetiver, and white musk. So that is definitely a mouthful, but I just think that this is so delicious and wonderful. I've talked about this before as a potential spooky season fragrance, but I think it works so well in the winter time and especially the festive Christmas season as well. Just looking at the notes, I feel like so many of the notes here are very celebratory vibes, very Christmas vibes. For example, truffle just feels like a fun, almost New Year's Eve vibe, but along with the spices, the Mexican chocolate, vanilla, incense, sandalwood, really just gives that delicious, again, crackling fire vibe, but also the sweets and spices of the Christmas season. I just think this is so wonderful. I think this would be so great for a holiday party of any kind, a work holiday party, a friends or family holiday party, going out to dinner at like a deliciously like fancy restaurant around the holidays. Just again, that really like upscale celebratory vibe. I think this is so perfect for that. I think this is just a wonderful fragrance. Again, it has a ton of notes, but if any of those interest you, I would definitely try to get your nose on this. It's a pretty well-known fragrance, of course, but it's just such a lovely concoction. And again, one of my favorite fragrances for this time of year. And then next up, I have 2 super woodsy fragrances, which I just feel like really shine in the winter months when you're getting cozy, you maybe lit a fire, maybe you're in a wood cabin. All of those things just feel so deliciously Christmassy and wintry to me. And the first of those fragrances is another Tom Ford, and this is Tom Ford's Ebène Fumé. I think this is just so wonderful. If you like ultra woodsy fragrances, this one is definitely for you. It has top notes of incense, Palo Santo, black pepper, violet leaf, mid notes of leather, labdanum, cade oil, papyrus, and rose, and base notes of resins, ebony, and gaiac wood. So just a lovely mix of notes here, but I really think that the Palo Santo and the resins, ebony, and gaiac really give it that deliciously woodsy vibe to me, as opposed to being a like a wood fire or anything like that, or a wood burning stove. To me, this is more like the smell of a delicious wood cabin. So if you've ever stayed in a cabin with like a lot of wood paneling, it just gives this deliciously cozy vibe, and I think that's just so wonderful and so wonderfully Christmassy. And I also think that the black pepper note in this kind of gives it that little bit of spiciness that I also associate with Christmas. So I talked a lot about Christmas spices, so those deliciously warming spices that a lot of, you know, cultures use around Christmas time, you know, like I was saying, cardamom, nutmeg, cinnamon, pepper, all of those things that just really evoke the Christmas season to me. So for that, I think this is just so wonderful. This is also an excellent unisex scent. I can see anybody who likes this really pulling this off. It's just so lovely and so sophisticated, such a well-blended fragrance, and I really enjoy this one. Next up, I have a fragrance that is, like I said, another woodsy fragrance, and this one is more of a classic at this point, and this is Replicas by The Fireplace. It's in the name. It's perfect for the winter season, and the little story surrounding this fragrance, I feel like just makes it perfect for Christmas as well, because Chamonix 1971, burning wood and chestnut. I just love this one. I feel like this one would be perfect for a Christmas ski trip. Again, because of the Chamonix reference here, but just because it has that wonderfully, deliciously woodsy scent. This one is more of a wood fire than a wood cabin vibe of the last one, but this is just so wonderful. It has top notes of cloves, pink pepper, and orange blossom, mid notes of chestnut, guaiac wood, and juniper, and base notes of vanilla, Peru balsam, and cashmerean. So again, a ton of wonderfully Christmassy notes here, starting with the clove and pink pepper. Oh my gosh, clove is another delicious, warming Christmas spice that I just feel like it really contributes to the Christmassiness of this fragrance, along with the pink pepper. And then, of course, classic Christmas, we have chestnut in the mid notes, and I just feel like, obviously, like chestnuts roasting over an open fire. If you've ever been in New York around the holidays where they are roasting chestnuts, like the street vendors, it's just such a wonderful scent memory and just such a wonderfully fun and festive vibe. You know, some things are special because they're only, you know, they only exist in a certain part of the year, and I just love that about chestnuts. I just think they're so wonderful and classic Christmas. And then again, the vanilla in the base note. I feel like vanilla is just so wonderfully delicious any time of year, but especially in the winter when you really want those cozy vibes. So again, this is another woodsy fragrance. It's a little bit different than Ebène Fumé, but I do think if you are drawn to one, you may enjoy the other as well. So the last fragrance on the list is the sweetest of them all, I would say. And if you love that about Christmas, like if you are into Christmas for the deliciousness and the sweet treats and all of that, you will definitely love this fragrance. And that is Mancera's Amore Caffè. This is just so wonderful. This is one of the newest fragrances I have here, and I freaking love it. I'm so happy I picked it up, and I think it's so wonderful for the Christmas season. So this fragrance has top notes of coffee and amaretto, mid notes of vanilla and ice cream, and base notes of brown sugar, vanilla, and ambergris. I just think this is great. This is really so true to the notes on the fragrance breakdown on Fragrantica. So if you really love any of those notes, you will love this fragrance. But yeah, it's a delicious coffee, vanillic, definitely get those amaretto vibes and a little bit of creaminess from the ice cream. So if you love, you know, having a festive adult beverage around the holidays, if you love amaretto, if you love affogato, so the Italian dessert with ice cream and espresso, you would really, really love this. If you just really love that cozy, sweet treat, spending time with friends and family indoors, having a little cafe, you'll really love this one. I really enjoy this one, and again, I think it's so great for the Christmas season. That's all I have for today. Thank you so much for joining me. Just wanted to get into a few of my favorite Christmas time fragrances. If there's any additional Christmas fragrances that you love that you want to let me know about in the comments down below, I'd love to hear your thoughts as always. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.